Hi everyone, it's Chris here from Becker's Models. Have you ever wondered if aftermarket accessories are worth it for your model? Well, today I'm going to look at the Aires resin engine replacement set for Hong Kong models B-17G, and we'll see if it's worth the expense. The B-17 is such an iconic aircraft, and one of, well no, four of its most standout parts are these huge Wright cyclone radial engines. I'll put some photos up here so you can see just how impressive they are even on the outside and even when the prop's spinning. Now Robbie, my good friend Robbie at the Model Guide, check out his fantastic channel, I'll leave a link in the description below. He's planning to build Hong Kong models 148 scale B-17 over his winter, which is our summer down here in Australia, or winter in Canada, where he lives. And he's been contemplating getting these parts, and he knew that I've got these, so he asked me if I could do a review, and here we are. So, without much further ado, let's open the box. Voila. Alright. Okay, unboxing, let's have a look. Now we need to knoll it, so put all the parts in the right spots. Okay. Now I have two questions when I contemplate getting aftermarket parts. First, can I actually see them? Because usually when you get aftermarket parts for, say, a cockpit, unless it's seat belts or something really obvious, you can't really see most of it. But when we're talking about the external parts of an aircraft, like an engine, well, okay, then we have to really ask the question. So you might be wanting to replace propellers, nozzles, or engine faces, like in the case with the B-17. But the question still remains, the second part of that question is, will these parts actively enhance what's in the kit? And most new tool kits these days have fantastic detail, so you really have to ask that question. So that's the point of this review. We're going to look at what's in this box and see if they actually are better than what's in the kit. So let's have a closer look. Alright, you get the instructions here, which is basically just a sprue map, and then it's saying to replace certain parts in the instructions, in the original instructions. Okay, don't use kit parts 35 and 34. I'll have a closer look for that in a minute. And then we get a face, we get all the push rods, and some other parts to go on, and some wires go in between each of the, just all the cylinders, or is it just the top? Must be that top cylinder there. Turn the page, and yep, that's where all the very fine PE goes, and this is where the major question that people have asked is the ignition ring going around the center crankcase. I guess that's what it's called there, and it looks like, according to the instructions, they've done quite a detailed job. Am I getting that in focus? I hope so. And it looks like the instructions look very similar to, from what I can recall, on the original kit instructions, a simple plug and play. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Alright, enough of that waffling, let's have a look at the kits itself. You get very fine photo etch. It's extremely thin. These are all the ignition wires. Yeah, I won't take that out of the bag, so sorry about the reflection, but that's really well detailed. Yeah, it's not just simple wires, it's got you know, covers and bolts and everything on it, so that's a really good addition. I'll take these main engines out. So here are all the resin parts, and first you get these extremely fine push rods. I think they're push rods. And it looks like some of them have come off, but it's not. It's just the way it's been molded. So this, you've got another row here. Be really careful taking these out of the bag. I'll see if I can get a better picture there. Just the quality of them. They're superbly done. Yeah, they're fantastic. And then of course the engine itself. Alright. Nicely finely molded. You've got, if we look in the relief there, you can see all those raised bolts. Hope you can see them. Yep, looks fantastic. Let's find the engine parts. So many parts in this kit. We've got engines, we've got wings, they're just everywhere. Here we go. Somewhere in here. Where are they? Aha, here we go. Engine parts. I'll cut these out and let's have a closer look. That's it. Just one part. The whole engine, and it's just the front bank. No other details, and you just install it in between the cowl flaps to an empty nacelle. Yeah. So I've got the Hong Kong model plastic part in my left hand and the resin engine, as you can see, still in the stub on my right hand. At first glance you can see that the resin engine is much meatier. Is that a word? Meatier? Beefier? The central crank looks a lot wider, and of course you've got, you know, the prop shaft is much more detailed. And then while we're at this angle, look at that. See how you've got all that extra relief and parts for where you put the push rods, and then on the bottom of the crankcase, and on the bottom of the crankcase on the other engine, on the plastic parts, it's just, there's nothing there. So there's no comparison there. Staying with this angle, you can see that the cylinder heads are much more finely cast on the resin piece. The plastic piece, they're really weak actually. They're really just a weak angle. I'll see if I can get some better photos of that, because that's just, it really shows off, you know, in these angles. Yeah, the ignition ring is much easier to find from the front there, so even if it's mainly covered up by the cowls, you're going to see a lot more detail with the resin engine. There's no contest here, is there, really? I mean, out of the box, this isn't too bad. They've got the push rods molded already on, and, you know, there's only 4 parts. You just, to put the plastic parts together will only take you, you know, a few minutes. Give that a bit of a, yeah, I'd rather get this, and I'm glad I've got it. So Robbie, I would suggest you get the resin bits, just even doing this from a first glance. Putting it together should be quite easy. It's quite straightforward. The only problem would be, of course, the very finely detailed PE pieces, but just take your time with those. Yeah. Alright, let's move to the next piece. Before I go on, I did find the rest of those push rods that were on that stub that have all come off. I thought that they're just broken off at the base there, so it's no problem. But yeah, just don't throw your bags out after you've done that, so you'll need all those. Now, where can you get this set? I bought mine from B&A down here in Melbourne in Australia. I'm sure they're available on Sprue Brothers in the US, or elsewhere, Hannants, that sort of stuff, or on eBay. It's a bit pricey. This costs $40 Australian just for these 4 engines, and the whole kit, I think the kit price retails for around 140, so it's quite a sizable amount of money to be spending, but it's going to look so much better, just trust me. And you know, if we're going to justify what we spend on our models, $40 for what's going to take probably a good 4 or 5 hours at least to assemble these, let alone paint them. But to assemble them compared to just the straight plop in, you know, these things you just plop straight in, that $40 is well worth spending. You know, it's a steak dinner. Well, there we have it. I hope that helped Robbie and anyone else out there make your choice about contemplating if you should get the Aires resin set for your B-17 project. I think it's well worth it. So yeah, I will be tackling this kit one day. I've got all the parts for it. I know the subject that I want to do. I've got a smaller B-17 in 1/72 scale I might try first, or I might not. We'll see how we go. I may even do a full review of the kit. If you'd like that, leave a comment down below, and also please leave a like for watching. And if you want to see some full build videos and more product reviews and all that sort of other stuff, why not hit the subscribe button? So that's all today. Have a good day and happy modeling. See you later. Now I'll start that all over fucking again. Okay, where am I going with this? How do I open the bloody box? Oh, come on. What, do I got to cut it? Oh, for fuck's sake, come on. Really? Alright. Oh, I don't like cutting it there. Let's cut it there. On camera, Chris. Oh, it's still recording. Shit.